It's the penultimate round of the Ghana Premier League match day 33 live here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Nations FC are coming up against Vision. Both teams find themselves in the relegation conversation, and this game actually looks like a winner takes it all. Both teams know the importance of picking up 3 points here, especially Nations FC, who will be playing their last home game before the season ends. My name is Mutala Yakubu here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. The other games that would also be played simultaneously across other venues. Mediama could end up winning the title today if they manage to beat Heart of Lions and Gold Stars go on to lose against Dreams FC, or maybe the party could be postponed to next week if Gold Stars manage to pick something against Dreams FC. In as much as we are all looking at what happens at the top, we also focus at the bottom, because after Ho United pulled out, we know that 11 Wonders have been relegated. But the last team that would also be playing in Division 1 is what we don't know. Nations FC, Vision, Ricks being there, and also other games that will involve the likes of Swedro All Blacks, who are traveling all the way to face Karela at the Aliu Muhammad Sports Stadium. My name is Mutala. We're here with Kelvin Owusu and say a lot to talk about. And as I always tell you, the Ghana Premier League is very, very huge, especially on social media. Just go on Instagram. You can search for Ghana League _. You'll find our handle. Also on TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, where we stream the matches, and even Facebook. Search for Ghana Premier League and you can enjoy all the action. Kelvin, we are talking about what happens at the top today, which if Mediama should win and Gold Stars go on to lose, they will wrap up the title. But at the bottom, it's still very unclear which team would be relegated together with Ho United and 11 Wonders. Nations Vision, big one. It looks like a winner takes it all.
Well, and even with that stretch, you get into mid-table, and mathematically, any of the teams from, I think, around the 11th position up to the bottom could be relegated, and it makes the league very much interesting. Any club playing either home or away will need to put in their maximum best, because you look at the points tally, a win today for any of these two sides could send them as, high up to the 11th position, and that clearly tells you that any team that lies on the 11th up till the 15th position could be joining the two relegator sides. So it's a big one for the taking. Not just them, there's Swedro All Blacks in the mix. There's, Heart of Lions in the mix, Nations themselves. So it makes the league very much exciting. And I'm sure that, any mid-table club would also be thinking, do I need to win? Do I need to be on the alert to prevent myself from getting into the drop zone with just these few weeks?
Of course, and Nations FC are coming into this game with a manager who has been in this situation, but at the opposing end when he needed to win a game and win the league with Gold Stars. Today, he's coming into a game where he needs to win and survive. Do you think that the two situations are different in terms of pressure?
Well, they're very much different, especially when he had a side that was well knit. They don't have, lots of injuries. They were very much consistent. Unlike Nations Football Club, you look at the last couple of games that they've played, they've been, highly inconsistent with a number of injuries, suspension, players moving on trials and all that. So it's actually affected the, chemistry, the telepathy you'd want to see in the team. This is a whole different, situation, because now he has his back against the wall. Unlike when he had to push against the wall, he would need to put in an extra, effort to make sure that the team gets over the line. And that is very much crucial. And they are playing not against any other, side than Vision Football Club, who are also troublesome when they are on the road. So I think that, yes, with his experience playing for Kotoko coaching before Kwatano, the pressure may be on him, but I'm sure he should be able to manage the situation and look forward to how he's going to inspire his players and his tactical, acumen getting to its apogee to get the needed results for Nations to keep themselves in the Ghana Premier League.
Of course, and they are missing a number of key players. Lineups are out, so I'll be going through and ensure that you get to know all that is happening. Some big names are not here, especially Razak Simpson, who has joined the Black Stars camp.
Well, it's quite unfortunate that the captain of the team, a leader here, you'd expect him to be here. And, they're also missing the services of Roland Gripman, who is his best centre-back partner. And that means that there's going to be a vacuum in there. Two new players who haven't played together are going to be there. Last time that Razak Simpson has played, well, a number of, inconsistent, performances. But obviously, at this crucial point, you need a player who has the temerity, who has the experience to lead the team at this point. So it's quite, a bit problematic for them. And let's not forget that they're also missing Buche, who out of injury, and Richard Dance, who also out of injury, are not part of today's match day squad.
And one element that Nations FC will be relying on today is the 12th man. The fans, they would want them to come in their numbers and cheer them on. There's a lot to play for. The stakes are high, not just here in Tarkwa, at the Tuba grounds in Accra and all that. We'll be going through all that, go through all the venues and get the results for you. But we'll take a quick breather here. We will be right back.
In the heart of Ghana, a nation rich with natural resources and vibrant culture, lies the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, a beacon of
Welcome back from that break. You're still watching the Ghana Premier League live on TV3 and on your TV. Right here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Big one, match day 33. Nations FC coming up against Vision. As I said earlier, both teams find themselves in the relegation conversation, and 3 points here will be crucial, especially to the home side Nation, who will be playing their last home match here before they travel for match day 34. So we are looking forward to that, but that is not the only game that will be played. As I said, the stakes are high elsewhere, especially in Tarkwa, where Medeama could wrap up the title if they come up against the Hearts of Lions and are able to win that game. But as you know, Nation is playing Vision in a few minutes' time. Medeama against Hearts of Lions, a big one for the people of Tarkwa. Should they win, they can go on and win the title. 11 Wonders, they've already been relegated, but they are hosting Brekum Chelsea. With Adriana also at home to Young Apostles. Dreams and Gold Stars is another crucial game. Should Gold Stars fail to win that game, it means that Gold Stars will not be available, or Gold Stars will not be able to win the Ghana Premier League. So the stakes are very, very high in there. Bechem United will also be taking on Asante Kotoko. Another game that we are looking forward to. How are Kotoko going to respond after they started picking up some wins here? Then FC Samatex at home to Hartlepool with Karela also taking on Sweden All Blacks. And that game also have a correlation with what is happening here, because Sweden All Blacks also are in the relegation conversation and will need to go to Tamale and at least pick up a point. Hoho United, they've already pulled out of the league, so Basake Holy Stars are getting 3 points. But let's check the standings and see how things are looking like on the table. Big one, because we know that as it stands, Medeama are on top of the table, and should they get a win against Heart of Lions today, then Medeama could certainly end up winning the title, depending on what happens between Dreams FC and BBN Gold Stars, because Medeama, as you know, are leading by 2 points. They have 59, with Gold Stars on 57 at the moment. Hartlepool, they are traveling to Samatex, and they could push up and close the gap on the top two. Should they win, they are third. Asante Kotoko currently fourth. Today they are playing Bechem United, and Adriana currently are fifth with 47 points. The top four also an interesting aspect to look at, because it's not going to be easy. But at the bottom of the table, this is how things stand. Wonders, Hoho United have already been relegated. Nations FC, who are playing here, are 16th at the moment, and Vision are just a place above them. They are 15th with Young Apostles on 14. So the game here is a crucial one, one that both teams would have to win at all costs. So this is how they made their way to the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Big one. Kelvin, you've seen the table, you've seen the games that are coming up. Not just the game here, elsewhere the stakes are very high.
Well, I think every venue counts. You know, you are talking about Kotoko Bechem United. Bechem will be thinking how Kotoko managed to thumb them at the Barbara Sports Stadium. They've picked up the pieces. How do they respond? How do they try to get into the top four? It's the same thing for Dreams FC. If they manage to win, they get closer to the top four. Hartlepool know that a victory for them will still keep them in the top four and prevent Asante Kotoko and Adriana from possibly usurping them. Luckily for Basake Holy Stars, they wouldn't be playing. The game has been forfeited. They have 3 points in the bag. Karela United playing at home would be very much crucial. They need to get that result against All Blacks. If All Blacks want to stay, you know, in the Ghana Premier League, this is one of the games they solidly need to get the result, because their next away game will be against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and it wouldn't come easier. Let's not forget that, you know, Karela United have also not achieved the right results in their last couple of games, and these games are very much important for them, especially the home games that they would want to win. So you clearly look at it, Young Apostles playing at home, obviously you'd expect them to win that game, and it will be very much crucial and important. In the last couple of weeks, we've seen Young Apostles, Brekum Chelsea pick up very crucial points, and that is almost ensuring their stay in Ghana's top flight. Now it beholds on the class playing Nations FC, Vision Football Club, Sweden All Blacks, and then, you know, the others to try and get the right results. Other than that, it will be them being pushed into the abyss.
So any results here, apart from a defeat, will be a big one for Vision FC, because they'll play their last home game at home against Adriana. They are here. This is how they made their way to the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. There you see the dressing room. They are also missing a number of key players. The likes of Sowa, Sanja are not all available for today's game. The biggest blow, perhaps for them, could be their head coach, Nana Kwaku, who is on national team duties with the Ghana under-17 team in Morocco. He is deputizing Prosper Nati Ogum. So the team is being led by Asare Wilson together with Alfred Nelson, and they would look to see if they can get a positive result here, because it's going to be a big one for them if they manage to get at least a point here going into their final game against Adriana. The stakes are very, very high here. The fans are here in their numbers to cheer both teams on, and we'll be seeing what would happen. But I spoke to both coaches for Frimpong. So as I said, he's been in a situation where he had to win a game to win the league. This time, he has to win to survive, and he says that it's possible. For Asare Wilson, who is leading Vision, and the result, apart from a defeat, will be a positive one for them. Is the penultimate game of the season. The last time I spoke to you like this, you needed to win a game to win the league. Today, you need to win a game to survive in the Ghana Premier League. Are the two pressures different?
Not. It's almost the same, because in those situations, you still feel the heat to some extent. But then this one, the only difference is if you don't make it, it's going to take you down, and which we are not ready for that. Yeah.
You have seen it all. Maybe these players have not been in this situation before. What has been the conversation like throughout the week leading up to this game?
Oh, throughout the week we've been talking about it. The most important being they shouldn't feel too much like they are down, so that's good. No, we told them we still have opportunity to make amends. So it's more about building their confidence and then their psyche. We need to do that because that is very important, even more than the game. So for me, I think they are okay, at least for the game.
Key game, but you are missing key players. Gripman not around today, same as your captain Simpson. How is that going to affect the team?
Yeah, Gripman has been away for, I think, 4 or 5 weeks due to injury. And then Simpson too has gone on a national assignment. So yes, the two of them are out, but we still have a good replacement. So I don't think it's going to have effect on us.
It looks like a winner-take-it-all game. If your opponent gets a draw, it's a positive result for them. Yeah. How are you going to approach this one?
No. This is a game we don't have any option. The only option we have is to go out there and then win. And for them, they will also try and then maybe put more men behind the ball. So we will have to do a lot of pressing in this game to be able to make sure we counter their...
Thank you very much, Coach.
Yeah, welcome.
Coach, it's your final away game before the season ends. You are playing a team who you are in a similar situation with, have to win to survive. Throughout the week, what has been the conversation? Because this is a highly intense game.
Yeah, highly intense, like you have said. But then all we have taken the boys through is just to do the simple things and the basic things in football, and that will bring their courage and confidence. And we believe when they get it right from the right foot, we will be able to overcome it.
A number of your key players not available again. So, Sanja, how is it going to affect you?
I mean, we've gone through that for about 5-6 games. We've managed to play, to win some and to pull some draws. So the same way that we've managed without them is the same application that we're going to do today.
This is a game that even if you end a draw, it's a positive result. How are you going to approach this one, knowing that your opponents have to win at all costs?
Yes, so we will use the tactical and the technical abilities, the mental toughness for them to focus throughout the 90 minutes and ensure that we either get a point or we get three points and go home smiling.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Azari Wilson there, assistant coach of Vision today. He's leading the team because their head coach, Nana Kwakwajimai, is on national team duty. Form guide of the two teams going into the game. 16 matches played by nations at home. They've won 9, drawn 6 of those matches and lost 1 year. Scored 21 and conceded 9 in the process. For Vision, 16 away games this season, won just twice, drawn 5, and they've lost a total of 9 and also scored 10 and conceded a whooping 22. I mean, the stage is set for this game. Both teams need a 3-point, but which of these two teams do you think would want this more?
Well, I think both of the teams want it more, but nations will be buoyed by the fact that they are playing at home. They have the 12th man. They cannot disappoint their fans again. The last time they played at home, they lost to Accra to folk by a lone goal, and they would want to pick up the pieces. Vision, unfortunately, Nana Kwakwajimai's divided attention with Ghana's under-17 team has affected the team a bit because he had been the man who had led them last season together with Hamza Obey. If you have 2 of your best technical handlers moving away from the team, it clearly brings a lot of problems. And I think that nations have enough within them and with them to actually get this over the line. Vision will try to do their best. And yet from Wilson, if they get a draw, they are cool. But nations want to go all out and get a win. And I think that nations are much more buoyed for this result than Vision Football Club.
If there's anyone that nations would want to count on today, it would be Emmanuel Arnold.
Yeah.
In devastating form, even though things are not going right for the rest of the team. How important is it to this nation's setup? We saw him move out of the country for about 2 weeks. They were struggling with goals. He came back, and the goals are now flowing.
Now they will need their creative ability to be at its highest. If you don't feed Arnold, it becomes very difficult for him to actually get into very good goal scoring opportunities. He's very much quick, he's skillful, he gets into spaces you don't expect him to be in. So why don't you get players who will be able to feed him with the ball a lot more times? And it's quite surprising that the likes of Nzole, Ivan Safo, Mark Williams-Wate are all not available to do that work. If they feed him a lot more, he's going to hit the target a lot more.
Well, let's see what will happen. I've told you that we'll be keeping tabs on the other games, especially the other venues, what would happen in Tarkwa, and also what could possibly happen at the Daewoo Park. The Tuba AstroTurf. That is where Dreams FC are currently playing against Bebieni Gold Stars. Also here, the relegation conversation is very much alive. So it is in Tamale. So Calvin Owusu and Sa will be joining Nana Dakwa Jesse for commentary. See you after the first 45 minutes. Enjoy the game.
Sunday special, and we're at the business end of the Ghana Premier League season. It's a battle for survival in Abrankese. Nations FC come up against Vision FC in a high-stake game that will see any of them going down if they lose maximum points here in Abrankese. It's match day 33 of the Ghana Premier League. Welcome to our coverage here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. His Nations up against Vision FC. The home side are coming to this game knowing very well that they have no option than to pick up maximum points. But Vision FC, even a point here, might just keep their hopes of survival alive. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse, together with Calvin Owusu. We're your commentators for this afternoon's game here in Abrankese. Vision are right here in orange and green jerseys, and Nations in dominant white colors here this afternoon.
A game full of tension, a game full of lots to expect from the two teams. And this is a game that could define their statuses in the Ghana Premier League. Big one, big moment, big players need to rise to the occasion.
Nations parading goalkeeper Bariu Impulse. At right back is Boyne. Asante Boyne is deputized in the absence of Razak Simpson, who's on national duties with the Black Stars away in that friendly against Mexico. Asari is partnering him in central defense with Kwame Boachi at left back. A four-man midfield of Entry, Afa, Ampofula Mashoud, with Emmanuel Arnold and then Tete leading the attack for Frimpong Mansour's charges this afternoon here.
Well, a number of inconsistent performances from Suwedu Suhini, as well as Ivan Safo and Mark Williams-Boateng have relegated them to the bench. And it's quite unfortunate they wouldn't have their best centre-back partnership in there, and that is going to limit the team, but trust Boahen and the Sari to be able to do the work.
Nations, for the first time in many games this season without the irregular centre-back partnership of Razak Simpson and Oko Gripman. Gripman is injured, Simpson is away. Toss of coin, determining who gets to kick off. It is Vision who gets the advantage. Jacob Aduntra is centre man. He's assisted by Gilbert Adum and Abdullah Al Hassan, with Ibrahim Ayaba as our fourth referee for this afternoon's game. Frimpong Manson has not minced words. He knows that they have no option than to bag maximum points here. A venue where they've lost just once across all season.
And it's quite unfortunate for them how they managed to lose a game that they were expected to win against Accra had to fall, but the Phobians did all within their might to get a victory. They wouldn't want to repeat it again.
Vision FC coming up with just one change from the previous game in the Premier League. Ahmed Tepem stains his place in post. Bernardo Sekwatan at right back, Frank Dongbali, and then Konate in central defense. Abdul Majid Labran at left back. Akwaku, Alidu, and Kwatin in midfield alongside Amwa Farouk. And there's an interesting story about Farouk Mohammed. He led Hoho United to the Premier League with some brilliant goal scoring form. Nations went in calling. Hoho responded by doing business. He turned up in Abrankese, but he never lived up to expectation. Vision gets him on loan, and now he has a responsibility to help keep them in the Premier League. But the bigger responsibility is on this gentleman, Burton Asare Wilson. He's got to take the full responsibility of seeing this team survive the Premier League, because substantive head coach Nanakwe Kwajiman is away in Morocco with the Black Stars of Ghana as they figure out how to get out of the group stage at the ongoing CAF Under-17 AFCON.
It's a huge task for him. He might have worked in some of the big clubs, including Kumasi Asante Kotoko, where he was assistant. He's handled West Africa Football Academy to a point, but this is very much crucial. It looks more like a head coach this time around in the absence of Nanakwe Kwajiman. He needs to deliver whichever way. However, and he made it clear in his pre-game comment, even a draw will be very much important for them, because they know that their last game at home would be a victory.
A lot of high-stakes game across other centers this afternoon as well. A lot of attention is in Tamale as Karela come up against a struggling All Black side. There we go. Efa gets us going for this match day 33 fixture. His Nations and Visions here in Abrankese. Here's Labran. Boahen does well to take possession for Nations. Flag goes up. Offside against Vision FC.
The intent is very clear. They want to be the ones to score the opener and unsettle the home team.
Kwamboache tries to get to entry. That's all to take possession. And now Efa goes down just outside of the box. Free kick for Nations. Just under 1 minute. Showing intentions very clear. And not put up one through for Efa. Right there. There was a push on him by Alidu.
Clearly brilliant play there from Efa. He knew exactly where he was driving towards. Waited for that touch. And he went down. An intelligent from Emmanuel Lano. Just when he had the pass, he just had to scan his environment and lay that pass to Efa, who was in a much more decent position.
Free kick for Nations. Very early in the game from Paul Mansell's charges. Showing their intentions very clear. They want to go on the offensive right from the onset. Vision have got some defending to do right here. free kick for Nations. Kelvin Ampofo lines up alongside Afa. Referee Aduntra whistles for Vision to have a player tended to.
I think that was a poor execution there, but he can also give credit to the human wall. Very good work done. And I'm sure Kwame Boache will be disappointed in himself with his left foot. I've expected a better delivery. He's clearly wasted that.
Mohamed Alidu. Big talking point before Vision signed him on. After Legon Cities got relegated, he emerged as a transfer target for a couple of clubs, including House of Oak, but ended up with a Tema Bay side who are in a battle to survive the top flight.
Clearly, if you look at the team, played well last season. Clearly telling you the inconsistencies with your two head coaches has actually affected them. Hamza Bain making that move towards Santi Kotoko. Let's not forget, in the last 3 years, he had been the anchor for them, bringing them into Ghana's top flight before Nana Kwajima joined hands with him to give them a memorable debut season. Now Kwajima had his focus on the under 17. Clearly, will need some time for them to adjust.
Tete goes down and Aduntra whistles free kick for Nations.
A lot more will be expected from him. Supposed to be the target man. His hold-up play was very much crucial for Arno.
Kwamboache to deliver, swings one into the Vision box. Nobody arrives for Nations, and it's a throw-in advantage, Vision.
That was a teasing delivery there from Kwamboache. But Isaac Asari did not read in between the lines. The ball evading every single Nations FC player.
Majid throws one down. Big put away by Kanote.
It's a poor one there from Brian, given the defense. Lots to think about, and you could see Abdullah Mashoud telling him, I expect something better from you. There used to be pressure. Both teams are struggling to settle into the game.
Here is Alidu. Flag goes up for offside.
So that's a restart from Hadina Barry. Quickly wanted to restart play and find Brandon Chisapo.
Strong challenge coming from Nana Kwesiamwa Onefa. Here is Mashoud Abdallah. Asari to Kwamboache. Entry Sapon with a delivery, but it goes wayward. Goal kick.
The intent was very much clear. Brandon was trying to just whip that running, finding Ano or Tete. Delivery went wrong. Too high up.
Benjamin Kwarteng, long one in trying to find Evans Akwaku. Kwamboachi challenges for it. Akwaku aims at it, but he allows it to roll over for a throwing advantage. The visitors.
Nations need to be careful. They keep their eyes off. They could be hit against the run of play by Vision.
Kwarteng sends in a long throw. Kwamboachi hooks it away for Nations. Konate brings down Tete. Free kick as Aduntra. Riley spots the infringement in the middle of the park with Nations quickly going on the offensive. Here is Boyne. Vision gets the ball away from their area. Isaac Asari. Nobody.
Looks like they're in a rush. Nations are in a rush to get the ball into the final third. This resulted in lots of misplaced or heavily hit passes. I cannot find either Tete or Ano. A little bit of calm could help them.
Here is Asari. Now Kwame Boachi for Nations. Kelvin Ampofor in the middle. Switches to the right side. Aiming at Mashoud Abdallah. Too much on it for Mashoud Abdallah. Unable to keep the ball in. It goes out for a throw into Vision.
Quick switch of play there. The intent was brilliant, trying to pull away the loaded left-hand side of attack to the right-hand side, but it was too heavy. I should have been late to keep that one.
Majid Labaran with a throw.
Labaran has been one of the most promising talents.
Seems to have been a collision of heads. Emmanuel Boyne and Benjamin Kwarteng. The Nations forward. That's the incident. Boyne just going right behind him.
I think there should be a foul there. It was just, head in the back of the head. For him, he needs to be a bit calm. He's actually picked up the pieces this season from his lack of active action in the last couple of years. Small line, little kids are getting more interest in the Ghana Premier League.
One thing on the minds of those who have trooped there to support Nations is to see Premier League football at this venue next season, which will very much depend on the outcome of this very game. They are still in the finals of the FA Cup. There's an opportunity to represent Ghana in the CAF Confederations Cup. They wouldn't want to play in the Confederations Cup as a first division team. They obviously want to be an elite club to represent Ghana in Africa's second-tier competition. If Mediama or Gold Stars win the league, then they might be in company of either Dreams or Nations for Africa. 10 minutes in Abraham Kesse at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. It's Nations FC 0, Vision FC 0.
There hasn't been an end-to-end action. Nations slightly on top. A little bit of scrambling of possession across. I'm sure Nations knowing what is at stake. A little bit of calm would do them good. Vision are not perturbed. Just sitting and watching them, trying to frustrate them, preventing them from hitting the target.
Kwamboachi for Nations. Boyne. Ampofo. Ano's hit blocked. Kwarteng steps forward and gets the ball away for Vision. Asari returns it. Now Mashoud Abdallah on the right side for Nations. He's got Labaran to beat. That's what to pick out Boyne. Miscommunication between Boyne and Arno has given possession to Vishen. Majid Labaran. Alidu tries to go past Boyne. Daswato keep him in check, and as a throw into Nations.
So Vishen not in a rush, calming down, trying to string their passes together, keeping it cool not to lose possession as far as they can go into the opponent's first third. Will be important for them. That's exactly what they're trying to do.
That was a push on Asari by Farouk. Free kick to Nations. Watches switches to Boyne. Isaac Asari for Nations. Entry Sapun. Kelvin Ampo for lovely footwork to pick out Emmanuel Arnold. Good through ball. Mashoud Abdallah. Chance for Nations. And this should certainly be the opener. Brilliant save, Ahmed Tepe. And what a clearance away.
Fantastic goalkeeping, sharp reflexes. He knew exactly where that ball was going and put his body on the line. Brilliant save, Ahmed Tepe.
Another free kick for Nations in a dangerous position. Nations denied the opener. Great goalkeeping. Godwin Ahmed Tepe for Vishen. Lovely build up. Good cutback. Efa with the effort. Good save and instinctive clearance by Kwarteng.
Brilliant pass there from Arno. He saw the run of Abdullah Mashoud and he quickly gave him that cutback. If I was thinking this would be the goalkeeper, but brilliant save there. Sharp reflex from Ahmed Tepe to deny Nations the opener.
Free kick for Nations. We've done a quarter of an hour here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Nations, obviously, the team that have been on top and now have an opportunity for the opener if they get the execution right. Kwame Boache steps up, kicks one down as Entry Sapon's effort is blocked. Goalkeeper Adina Bariwi. Now to Isaac Asari. Kelvin Ampofo nearly gave it away, but Asante Boyne comes up with a long ball away. And Ahmed Tepe grabs without difficulties for Vishen. Dongbale boss gets the ball away. Emmanuel Boyne for Nations. Konate is pressed to the ball, not allowing Samuel Tete any space. Boyne's cross away by Konate again, only as far as Boyne.
Not the very best of deliveries from Boyne. He's better than that in delivering crisp balls into the opponent's penalty area.
Brandon, good play, but just can't go past Amwa. Mistake by Emmanuel Boyne. Farouk Mohammed, Alidu. Here is Alidu for Vishen. Tries to put one through for Farouk. Goalkeeper Hadina Bariu is first to the ball. Now Mashoud Abdallah on his bike on the right side. Goes past Majid Labaran. If for Nations now, Emmanuel Boyan swings in across. Flag goes up.
It looks like a Kyoku. A very difficult situation there. Looks to be his groin area. Holding on to it, same as Labaran, who went in with that sliding tackle, tried to win possession. Like Kyoku, very minimal contact. It was virtually little or no touch. And Labaran with that sliding heavy tackle. Also finding himself in pain in that groin area.
Martin Akwirgu, spotting white in the middle of some Nations FC players. Those who didn't make the matchday squad, obviously here to get right behind their colleagues. With these survival chances rightly depending on them. Alido to Farouk. Boyhim with a push right on Mohamed Farouk as a free kick for Vision. Two players all on one, and Boyne ended up being the culprit.
He's been a bit clumsy today, right from how he picks up passes, his deliveries, and how he's running into tackles. He needs to keep his cool. There's the moment where they need.
Labaran delivers. No accurate connection for Vision. Brandon Enchisapon. Livid decision goes against him when he seemed to be on the offensive. Ampofus clearance calmly controlled by Labaran. All the way back to Godwin Ametefe. Tries to get to Kwarteng. Poor ball from the goalkeeper.
I'm not sure his goalkeeper's trainer will be very much happy with that.
20 minutes in Abrankese at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Nations FC 0, Vision 0 in a battle for survival in the Premier League. Here is Asante Boyne for Nations to Emmanuel Boyne. Tries to pick out Mashoud Abdallah, but Labaran has the final touch. Ball doesn't go out. It comes to Emmanuel Boyne to Abdallah. Goes in with the left-footed Kela and it's straight to Ametefe. No problems for the Vision goalie.
There's always going to be an easy save if the ball is delivered like that. Ametefe will welcome them every single time. Mashoud looked more like trying to catch the goalkeeper unaware with that effort, but it wasn't enough to get past him.
Vision might just be forced to make an early substitution through injury.
It doesn't look too good for them. Labaran still seems to be having the problem. I don't know whether it looks like Akwirgu is the one who's being taken off. He wouldn't be able to continue the game, and you could clearly see the groin.
Second time, Evans Akwako is going off. Might just get a final treatment before a decision is taken on him. Here's Alidu. Too much for Kwarteng to get on to.
The intent was clear, by the execution lacking precision and accuracy.
No goals across the other centers. Madiama aiming to win the Premier League from that game against Lions. No goals. 11 Wonders up against Chelsea. No goals there. Diana and Young Apostles yet to witness any goals. Tight at the centers, but Dreams are up by 1-0 against BBN Gold Stars. Bechem United are up against Kotoko by a lone goal. It's goalless between Samatex and Hadzabok in Samra Boy and Karela drawing goalless with All Blacks in a game that can decide who goes down to relegation.
Well, it seems to be watertight in most of the venues. Teams are not allowing each other to score. Bechem United taking the lead against Kotoko, and Dreams taking the lead against Gold Stars. So the results stay like that and Mediama keep a draw. It means they'll be clinching this season's Ghana Premier League title.
Nations FC just a place above Vision on 15th on the log. So early substitution for Vision, forced through injury. Evans Akwako is out for Nagazi, George Tay Nagazi.
Seems to be a like-for-like substitution there. Playing from the flanks.
Bechem United doubled their lead at the Nana for Sujiabo to make it 2-0 against Kotoko. Here is Enchi Sarpon. There's a push on Ampofo, free kick for Vision. That's clumsy from Nagazi, who just came on for the injured Ivan Sakoku. Here is Emmanuel Boahin, clearance away by Konate.
It's more like the two teams are settling in properly now, especially Vision.
Brandon Enchisapon, Ampofo, Asari. The fans want them to push the ball into the enemy territory. They don't want the slow build-up. Here comes Afa. Now Emmanuel Ano. Clever defending from Konate. Kicks the ball away. It's Farouk up against Asari. Good defending by Asari. Dongbali has the ball down. Now Amwa. Brilliant play to pick out Labran. Throw in for Vision.
Vision clearly not in a rush, sticking to their principles. Patient build up, keeping their composure, making it simple.
Referee Jacob Aduntra signals for cooling break. We're on 25 minutes. No goals here in our Brankese Match Day 33 penultimate game in the 2025-26 Ghana Premier League, and everything seems to be going down to the wire.
It's clearly going to go down to the wire. No team is going to be easy to beat at this point in time, especially those who are threatened with relegation. And you can see from the results across the various centers, it's very much watertight. And Frimpong also has a duty to tell his players how to calm down. You can see Abuajeda Costa telling Efa how to just get the drive into the opponent town.
Brecon Chelsea have taken the lead against already relegated 11 Wonders. It's raining heavily. That's the information we are picking from Takwa. No goals in that game that is expected to send them into party mood later in the evening. They brought in popular Ghanaian musicians, Dub Nation, in anticipation of winning, and then Gold Stars losing to Dreams. So they set Takwa alive with the Kakalika vibe later this evening.
The twins of the moment all across the world, not just football, across various sports. There's just been it, and it's clearly Midyama in the last couple of games have made their games at home an entertainment event for their fans, and I'm sure they're loving it. And the league title is going to be massive in Takwa.
It's time for Gold Stars. They are trailing Dreams in Tuba. Bechem doubled their lead against Kotakwada for Suji Abo. No goals at the Century Arena in Samra Boy between Azabok and Samatex. And All Blacks are taking the game to Karela. Is goalless at the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium in Tamale. Here is Alidu for Vision. He gives the ball away. I know it's brought down cynically. Aduntra hesitated in whistling for the foul, but the flag had already gone up from the far side.
Seems to be a heavy one there on Ano, tearing away from his marker. Konate, strong lad, stretching to get that ball.
Kwambwachi's delivery, away by Konate. Mashoud Abdallah with a cross. Good catch by Ametefe. That's some great goalkeeping by the Vision shot stopper.
With confidence handling, can not spill an inch of that ball. Make sure that the full circumference had every single touch of the glue.
Emmanuel Boyne steps up. Asari gets the ball away. Only as far as Labaran. Alidu, brilliant turn. Here is Kwarteng. Now Farouk. Alidu, good play from Vision. That's Farouk's effort. And it's just gone over the bar. In the meantime, the flag had already gone up for offside.
Brilliant there from Farouk. Can see you're not happy with the late pass that came from his team member. And Vision calmly tried to pick up the passes, gently building a play. Let's put Nations in 6s and 7s anytime they decide to do that. Nations could be hit against the run of play if they are not careful with their back line.
Nations have a player down, and it's Asari. An off-the-ball incident. Not too sure referee Aduntra had any idea. It was Farouk Mohammed whose head collided with that of Asari. Not looking good for the centre-back. Quickly, the medics have attended to him. Hopefully he gets better to continue for.
Michael Abroka will quickly get his warm-up just to make sure he'll be in good space to fill into.
It's half an hour in our Bronkese. Nations nil, Vision nil.
Well, it's been slightly a dominance there from Nations Football Club, but Vision seem to be unperturbed. The only dangerous play came from Ifa after Abdullah Mashoud gave in that cross, but Ametepe was right there to make the save. So Vision have been able to weather the storm quite good.
Nations FC have created the decent chances, but it's Vision who seem to have seen a lot of the balls, but not progressed them positively enough. A far to Mashoud Abdallah with a cutback. Anos touch, not good enough. Kwarteng for Vision. Nagazi. Kwambwachi's touch, throwing Vision.
Clearly see that was a brilliant piece of play there from Nations Mashuda's first touch, letting him down. He sent in that cut back, but it was too high for Ano to try keep it on the low.
Under pressure, Kelvin Ampofo kicks the ball away from the advancing George Nagazi, throwing for Vision. Watson with a long one, flicked away by Boahin. Labaran. Alidu with a flicking chance for Vision. Nagazi sends one in and it's just gone wide. Goal kick.
That used to be the best opportunity that had fallen to Nagazi since coming on. He hesitated to hit it to the first attempt. And the second time he decided to. The ball just grazing across the face of goal. At least should have been on target.
First yellow card of the afternoon. Flash to Vision centre back Abdul Nafil Konate for that late challenge on Emmanuel Ano. Hadina Bariwi, the goalkeeper for Nations, is calling for the medical team to quickly attend to him even before Nation executes that free kick. Yeah, goalkeeper in some form of trouble.
Sure, it might have come from that stretch. From Nagaji's shot. Decided to stretch. Seems to have picked up a knock right there. Cannot afford to make any forced substitution now.
Confirmation of yellow card. So the centre back was Labaran Majid is the culprit. Boyne delivers. Quarton's ball returned by Boahin. Beautiful control by Efa. Can't get to Ano.
You clearly see the intent was clear for trying to make that quick pass to Ano. It wasn't heavy enough.
10 more minutes away from the break. It's Nations nil, Vision nil. Kwame Boache's throw. Ampofo with a powerful header away for a throw into Vision.
You see from Pomaso clearly not happy with the decision making of his midfielders and attacking players. Not sure they've been at their sharpest we've seen throughout the season.
Farouk shows great strength and desire against his former club. Here comes Nagazi looking for support. He finds it in Alidu, but Efa comes up with a hit. Obvious throwing against Nations. Brandon Inchisapon was a shade late for that one.
Seems to be struggling today from the wide areas. Ordinarily, we'd want to see him central to be drifting in between the defense.
Kwamboache's clearance. Mashoud Abdullah. Emmanuel Ano. Brilliant play from Ano, but he's stopped by Labran. Mistake by Hadina Bariu, and Vision have the opener. Farouk has returned to Abraham Kesse to hunt the club that loaned him out to Vision. It is Nations nil, Vision 1. Horror mistake by goalkeeper Hadina Bariui. Virtually 7. That one on the plate for Farouk Mohammed to open the scoring for Vision here. He would want to hardly forget about this day, but Vision won't mind. They've stunned the home side. Horrendous mistake. And it's Nations nil, Vision 1.
Horrible mistake there by Hadina Bariu. After his injury, getting to that ball, he was a bit hesitant. But that was good play there from Farouk Mohammed. Insisted, keeping the pressure on the goalkeeper, forcing him to hit the ball low. And it wasn't far beyond him, making that interception and getting it past him.
Coming up with a second corner, Vision. They've turned the heat on Nations FC.
Brilliant display there from Vision Football Club. Benjamin Kwate quickly picked up the pieces, trying to get the ball quickly across. But he hesitated, and you can see the reaction from Nagaji. He wanted a quicker delivery. Wasn't the case. Nations in 6s and 7s at the moment.
Poor corner by Alidu. Abdullah sends one in. Dongbali returns it. Kwarten wants to shoot. This time, Hadina Bariu is alert. "40 minutes. Nations nil, Vision 1.
Remember, I sounded the alarm bells. The Nations may be dominant, but against the round of play, they could concede against Vision. And that is how they've decided to sting them like a bee. An unfortunate situation, Hadina Bariu.
Frustration setting in with 5 minutes before the break. Nations down by 1-0. Ampofo, Efa, Asante Boain to Hadina Bariui. Isaac Asari. Kwame Boachi controls and tries to pick out Brandon Inchisapon. Hangs on to possession, but referee whistles. He rightly spotted the ball going outside of the line, and is a throw into Vision.
I bet he has a time to get control of the ball. Brandon wants it bounced off his kid of a few meters. He wouldn't have expected the ball to go, actually crossing the touch line. They need to be making quicker decisions.
Kelvin Ampofo for Nations. Picks out Mashoud Abdullah. Nations putting in some urgency as they trail by a lone goal, but hands over possession. Kwarten to Alidu. An opportunity to go on the offensive. Here is Farouk, the goal scorer, but Asari picks up Efa. Now Ampofo. A lot of space for Boyne on the right side, but they are not taking advantage of those spaces. Emmanuel Ano finds Mashoud Abdallah, who sends in a cross. No one is attacking that ball for Nations. It's flicked away by Kwarteng. Asante. There's a corner for Nations. Brandon Enchisapon putting in all the effort to hand them the advantage as Kwame Boakye steps up for the corner.
So Konate has been very strong in that defense. He's marshaled every single defensive organization.
Kwame Boakye's corner again. Ahmed Tepe to the rescue of Vision. This time it was Efa with a chance to equalize for Nations.
A fair bit unlucky there. Most of the glorious opportunities falling to him, but credit to Ahmed Tepe. He hasn't faltered an inch in this game.
Nagazi with an effort from the distance. No troubles for Adina Bariwi. Asante Boyne's ball into Efa. Here is Asari. Threats one through for Enchisapon, who loses possession. It is Nagazi for Vision. Asari gets it back for Nations. So his centre-back partner, Asante Boyne. Emmanuel Boyne surges forward. Here is Efa, tries to shoot, and it's a brilliant effort, just going over the top. That's an impressive effort from Efa.
Quick build-up play there, Boyne finding him in that free space. Efa made lot of shooting range. Position for himself. Look at that split pass in between. Made that turn. He aimed for the top left corner, but it was always rising. Quite unfortunate, but a good try.
Nations are throwing everything they can to draw parity before the break. There's 1-1 between Aduana and Apostles in Doma. Chelsea still hung on to the 1-0 lead against 11 Wonders. Bechem United are whipping Kotoko in Bechem. It's 3-0 against the Porcupines, who are being beaten down to earth by the Hunters. We're doing 5 additional minutes as indicated by fourth referee Ayaba Asibi Ibrahim. Brandon Asante chance for Nations. Was Brandon Sapon. Alidu goes past Asari. Now picks out Farouk Mohammed. Farouk is up against Asante Boyne. He shoots and is blocked by Asante Boyne. Only a few months ago, Farouk was playing on the opposite side. He struggled since joining Nations from Oho United. He didn't really make the mark and decided to find a new home in Tema, and it seems to be fitting in for Vision FC.
Seems to understand how he wants to play, and every ball directly goes to him.
Emmanuel Ano goes down right outside the box. Free kick. Abdul Konate bringing down Emmanuel Ano just outside the box.
It's a very sneaky player. He gets past you easily. Quick touch. Konate had absolutely nothing to do than to bring his man down.
Nations FC have lost just one game at this venue this season, and it was against Accra Hatzabok. They don't want to lose at this crucial time where they need maximum points to keep their survival chances alive. Now they have a free kick. We're into almost second minute of additional time before we wrap it up for the first half. And it's Kwame Boakye to deliver. Kwame sets up Ampofo. He shoots, is blocked. wasted opportunity by Nations. Now Nagazi will charge forward. He's got Alidu in the middle, but ball is blocked by Boahin. Desperately tried to prevent the corner, but Vision gets a corner kick.
Good read of the game there by Boahin, all the way from the right back position. Running to make that block. I can give credit to the Gaji for that run. Quite impressive. You can see he wanted to get a quick delivery across the face of goal. Boahin with his body right there to make that block.
Nations have so far conceded 31 goals in 33 games. They've scored only 29, so a negative of 2, and now they have a corner to defend. Here is Alidu for Vision. Sets the ball across, but nobody connecting for Vision. It's a throw-in as we enter the second minute of additional time here in Abrankese.
It's quite easy for Vision to play through the defense of Nations than for Nations to get through the defense of Vision Football Club. Seem to have found the antidote, patient build-up, calm to find their men in very good positions. Nations is still struggling, trying to find an antidote to that. The absence of Gripman and Simpson clearly telling here.
13 defeats, 8 draws, and 11 wins across 32 games is the story for Nations, for a club who were challenging for the Premier League title last season, only to be struggling. Leaves much to desire. Here is Brandon. Entries. He drives one in, and that's some good goalkeeping again from Ahmed Tefet.
Very good
Calmness and confidence with which he handles those situations is really impressive.
Impressive goalkeeper, not in a rush, not making mistakes with his handling of the ball. But that was a quick turn there from Brandon and Sapon. Most impressive play, quick dummy. And with his weakest foot, was always going direct and close to Ametepe, and he wouldn't let that spill.
Here is Boahin onto Mashoud. Abdullah with a cross. Dongbali sends it back for a throw into Nations. We're into the final seconds of stoppage time to wrap up first half with Nations trailing. Mashoud Abdullah's cross. Ano goes down. His hands are up in an appeal for a penalty. Referee Aduntra not interested.
And clearly he was looking for it. Clearly see the touch was too heavy, knowing he wasn't going to get onto that. Therefore Konate has really had a very decent game.
Aduntra whistles to bring the first half to an end. 45 minutes plus 5 additional minutes brings the first half to an end here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankese. The home side are trailing the visited Vision FC in a battle for survival. That mistake by Adina Bariwi handing Farouk Mohamed that opportunity to punish his former club. They've bossed the game with 59% of the possession. 2 corners awarded the visitors. 14 fouls. Half time at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankese. Match day 33 of the Ghana Premier League. Nations FC 0, Vision FC 1.
What are the intense first 45 minutes we've had here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex? Nations FC are down by a goal to nil against Vision after an error from their goalkeeper. Beru allowed Farouk to poke home the goal for Vision. I've been joined by the assistant coach of Nations, Boajid Acosta. Coach, it looks like the goal actually came against the run of play because you were very much in control of the game.
Yes.
Then you capitulated.
Yes.
What happened?
It's bound to. That's how football is. He was in a hurry. He was in a hurry. He
Now,
ought to
after
have
the
been kicked out.
that goal, it looks like you've not been able to recover. You were making incursions into the half of Vision, but that has stopped a bit. In the second half, what needs to change? Do you need to bring in new players or you have to change the system?
We ought to bring them back psychologically. I know we will come back. We will come back. Not 2 weeks.
Let's see what happens. Thanks very much,
Thank you
Coach
very much.
Aboajid Da Costa, assistant coach of Nations FC. They are down by a goal to nil. Alfred Nelson is the assistant coach of Vision. Today, their head coach, Nana Kwakwajimai, could not lead the team here. So Alfred and Wilson are leading him. Alfred, first 45 minutes, good for you. You are leading by a goal to nil. It was against the round of play, but have you been satisfied with what you've seen so far from your boys?
Yeah, Arnaud is using the half space and he's exploiting the spaces behind our defense. Those are the things that we saw. And they are doing lots of crosses into the box. So we need to stay resolute at the back. We'll go in there, talk to the boys. We came here, we put ourselves in this situation. So we'll fight for everything.
Now you are just 45 minutes away from snatching a very important victory as far as the relegation conversation is concerned. What do you need to do in the second half to be able to get all 3 points? Because definitely the home team will come out all gun blazing.
Yeah, we need to make less mistakes. We need to play economically. We need to play to our strength. We don't have to give them too many fouls around the box and unnecessary fouls as well. We came to play with the whistle, so we are only looking at the whistle. Any other thing, we are not concerned about that.
Well, let's see what happens in the second half. Alfred Nelson, assistant coach of Vision, they are leading by a goal to nil. And this goal actually changes the whole title dynamics. There's a lot to talk about. Let's go for a break. When we come back, Kelvin Osuasa will join me for the first half analysis. Indeed, a special Sunday here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. I wish you could see what is actually happening in the crowd right now. The fans of Nations are not having it at all because this game, should it end like this, would actually decrease their chances of cementing their status for next season. They are currently down by a goal to nil against Vision in the penultimate round of the Ghana Premier League here at home. And this is actually their final game that Nations will be playing here before they travel for match day 34 to end the 2026-27 Ghana Premier League. 2025-26. I'm ahead of time. That's right. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Kelvin Oswasa, who was in commentary position, is back here. Kelvin, it's been, would I say, a game of two halves in the first half. It was Nations that started of the better of the two sides, dominating possession and even created one great opportunity, which I think they should have scored. Since then, they've been on the front foot until that mistake from goalkeeper Barrio. But let's talk about how Nations started the game. It was the right tempo, the right intensity, and they should have scored.
Well, a brilliant start to the game. You know, they dominated play, took the game to Vision Football Club, created all the chances that they could. But I think that they were a little bit not purposeful in the final third of the pitch. Instead of hitting the target, trying to hit the target, they decided to take one or too many, touches to the ball, and it allowed Vision to regroup almost every now and then. The glorious opportunity that they had, that was the one that Ifa hit, and then Ametepe right, on his line, managed to make that save and prevent Nations from going up one. But it was the right tone, the right start that any home team who is looking to escape relegation would have wanted to start the game with. Quite unfortunate that the decision-making in the final third was unimpressive.
Of course, that decision-making in the final third has not been good for Nations FC. At times, they are very erratic. Let's talk about the goal. It came against the round of play because there was no danger when the ball went to goalkeeper Barrio, but he failed to clear his lines, and the ball fell to Farouk, who started the season actually with Nations FC before being loaned to Vision.
Well, the signs were very much clear. You could see that Vision realized that if you give Nations ample time on the ball, they're always going to give you lots to worry about. And they decided to push Nations. They decided to high press them. They decided to make them uncomfortable anytime a pass was made. And it was the same thing that happened to Barry. Farouk decided not to stop. And when he decided not to stop, the goalkeeper, who had already complained of a thigh injury, could not hit the ball as far as he could, and it was well intercepted by Farouk, who managed to hit the target. It was quite unfortunate, but I think that it is as a result of how Vision decided to change the tempo and their style of play, the high press, making Nations uncomfortable on the ball, because Nations have players who, given ample time on the ball, like Ifa, like Kelvin Ampofo, like Emmanuel Ano, will hurt you on the day. So all that they needed to do was to just make sure that the press was on point, and that affected Nations.
The second half will start shortly. Nations already out, warming up. Definitely, they would come out all guns blazing, trying to get the equalizer. Could that be an advantage to Vision to go on and get a second goal that could be like a second punch?
Well, you can see they are very much comfortable. Even when it was goalless, they were comfortable, not in a rush to get the ball up. And let's not forget, before the start of the game, Bertrand Asari said even if they get a draw, they will be very much happy. So they seem to have let the pressure off their players, and it's now on Nations Football Club. What they are going to do is exactly what they did in the first half. No pressure, let's stick to our game.
I don't think Nations have done much wrong in the first half, but up front, they've been a bit light. After creating those early chances, then they went quiet.
Well, I think that they've not been purposeful. Where they need to plunge the ball through, they haven't been able to feed the likes of Brandon and Emmanuel Arnold very well. Tete is being bundled down by Konate, and I think credit should go to Konate. He's actually marshaled the defense of Vision very well to prevent, Nations from having a very good field day. But the likes of Ampofo and Ifa need to be feeding Arnold and Brandon and Chisapo a lot more. And even for them, together with Abdullah Mashoud, they need to be making crisp deliveries. If they are able to do that, they could be finding Ano and Tete in the right positions to at least hit the target.
The halftime interview with Alfred Nelson, he says that Vision would have to play to their strength and ensure that they protect their lines. Is that a good tactics going into a game against a team that will throw everything at you?
Well, I think that is exactly what they've been doing from the first half of the game. They sit back, watch the opponent, and once they get the ball to them, all they need to do is to just keep their calm, hit along. Now that they have, Nagaji there, they have Farouk, find them, they hold up play, and they can cause, problems for the defense. I think one thing that is missing from Nations FC game is their defensive solidity. The center-back, partnership of Simpson and then, Gripman absent is costing them.
So players and officials are back on the pitch. Second half about to start. Kelvin Owusu going back to his post to join Nana Dakwa Jesse. Crucial second 45 minutes. See you after the game.
Welcome back for second half of this crunch fixture here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Home side Nations, they have a lot of talking to do among themselves, as you can currently see them do. They are trailing the visitors, Vision FC, by a lone goal. They know too well that their survival chances in the Ghanaian top flight very much depend on the outcome of this game. It was a mistake by goalkeeper Adina Bariu that handed Vision the opening goal, scored by Farouk Mohammed. He took his chance and he made sure he made no mistake. So much to expect in the remaining 45 minutes. Nations 0, Vision 1. Aduntra is getting ready to get us going for second half action here. It will be Vision to get us going. Aduntra whistles and Alidu sets us away for second half action. Asante Boyne's header for Nations. Good touch by Kwesi Amoah.
Vision will start the second half. The second half much more comfortable. They wouldn't be in a rush and they will continue from where they left off, making sure that Nations would have the pressure to attack them.
Mashoud Abdallah on the right wing for Nations. Back to Boyne. Boyne swings in across. Cleared away by centre-back Frank Dongbali. Entry Sapon goes down. There's a shout for a penalty. Referee Aduntra was right there at the spot. Vision quickly hands possession back to Nations with Kingsley Appiah losing focus on that occasion. Boyne to Kelvin Ampofo, gets it back. Here is Kelvin Ampofo, good ball to Entry Sapon. Here is Brandon Entry Sapon, twisted and turning around Labaran. The final product, just awful.
That has been the same story. The story that happened from the first half. Vision making sure they force Nation not to be purposeful in the final third of the pitch. I think that is what they need, to be much more ruthless and be making prudent decisions.
Nagazi goes past Kwame Boache, swings in across. Quatin on the volley, cleared by Kwame Boache. One of the best of clearances by the left back is a Vision throw in again.
It's quite surprising. Nations have been a bit uncomfortable every time Vision get the ball into the central defensive part of the pitch.
Nagazi shot caught, tagging the shots of Kwame Boache. Boyne. Mashoud Abdallah. Quatin goes down, no foul. Asari goes forward and picks out Ano. Brilliant play from Ano. Can't go past Nagazi. Dongbali steps forward.
think it's a similar problem that happened in the first half. Too many touches to the ball. When you expect them to release it and send in deliveries, they spend too much time. That has been the difficulty with when nations are struggling to create much more decent goal-scoring opportunities, which I think they need to be better.
Here is Emmanuel Ano. Afa switches to the right side, aiming at Boyne, good control. Now Mashoud Abdallah onto the path of Boyne, back to Abdallah. Can't go through the defense. Dongbali gets it away for Vishen. Collided with Samotete in the process, and he has come off worse. Frank Dongbali.
Very good defensive work there from Dongbali, putting his body on the line, knowing Tete is very much strong. Went into that battle, but look at that. Boy, cleverly. Mashoud did not hit that with the greatest conviction you expect him to hit that ball.
Boyne to Brandon and Chisapon. Heavy touch. Konate's effort. Away for a throw into Nations. Here is Boyne. Onto the part of Tete. Sapon went down. A little shout for a penalty. Nana Kwesi Amoah. Asari steps up. Here is Kelvin Ampofu. Now Jose Refa drives forward in confidence, but it's a poor ball from him again as Konate gets it away for a throw into Nations.
Brilliant interception. Konate reading in between the lines to clear that ball. Nations seems to be better in finding their men much more quicker the second half. After 5 minutes, Vishen will be very much happy. What they want the second half is what they are having so far.
Nations will be trusting in their somewhat home invincibility, having lost just a game at this venue. They have won 9 out of 16 home games, drawn 6 times and lost just once. Now here is Mashoud Abdallah, lovely footwork, but it's Konate again who gets the ball away as we hit 50 minutes here in Abrankese. Nations 0, Vishen 1.
What a game Konate is having. He hasn't left any scrap unpicked. That is what you need from your centre back.
"21 out of those 29 total goals Nations have been scored at this venue." Here is Ano. It's certainly a foul. Kwarteng brings him down. It's a free kick for Nations as they push for the equalizer.
Well, it's quite interesting what Fred Pomanso has done, pushing Ano to the flanks, and Brandon much more central. Is giving lots of problems to Vishen how to deal with his threat, his rant, and his trickery. So free kick won in a very good position. Vishen will be hoping that Nations will not be able to take advantage of this. But as to how Nations will beat Konate in the central defense with that delivery.
Kwame Boakye to take the free kick for Nations. They trail Vishen by 1-0. A lot of men in the box. Boakye delivers. Asari heads it back. It's flicked away by... Now it's an easy catch for Ametefe after Dongbali had gone up with that flick.
Looked like Kwarteng came off worse that. A hanging delivery was headed right back there by Asari. You see Kwarteng, the goalkeeper, coming with his elbow off his head. But Boakye should be sending in much more better deliveries. It was hanging.
Nana Kwesi Amoah brought down. He was aiming for the free kick, but It's gone the opposite direction. It is Kwame Boachi who gains the advantage. Interesting to see where Aduntra will decide on the free kick.
Okay, went on the blind side. The referee Kwame Boachi leaving some stats behind the right on his marker. The free kick has gone his way though. See gloomy faces.
You can spot there. More chairman of the club, Dr. Kwame Che, right in the VVIP. Not a good expression on his face.
Clearly, there's a similar expression on the faces of Boachi da Costa and Frimpong Manso.
Kwame Boachi delivers. Konate rises higher. Ano Alidu hooks it away. Asare heads it down. He almost gives it away to Farouk, who takes possession. He's up against Boyne. He skips past Asante Boyne. Here is Farouk Mohammed, the goal scorer.
Great piece of play, strength, hold up play on point.
Here is Alidu. Labarand with a cross. Chance for Vision again, but this time Quarton's effort drifts wide and not troubles Nations.
See, there was Benjamin Carter. They're getting into a very good shooting position.
Bernard Osei Quarton gets the clearance away. Nations. Here is Eifa to Arno. Arno with a cut back again onto Konate's foot. Here is Eifa to Brandon Enchi, and FS effort goes wide and out for a goal kick.
Brilliant piece of play between Eifa and Brandon Enchi. Supon getting all the plaudits for that. But the final shot, missing. The precision he wanted. Could see the idea intent was very much clear. So the top right corner, execution lacking any accuracy there.
It's 55 minutes here in our Brankesse. Nations are chasing the equalizer. Brandon Enchisapon swings in across, down by Tete. Now Efatuano, Ano controls, and it's a good save by Amatepe again. Cleared away by Konate. Nations are piling the pressure, and Vision are jealously defending their lead.
Good play there from Nations Football Club. Samuel Tete bringing now the ball, and it was Eifa who found Ano in a very good position, but credit to Amatepe. He's standing in between. Nations getting a goal.
Kwame Boachi delivers the corner. Header down by Ano. No one is connecting. Here is Asari. The centre back finds himself in a vital position. Ball in by Ampofo. Again, acrobatic save by the Vision goalkeeper. He got himself impeded in the process and has left him down on the pitch. Well, obviously, we need some attention as Aduntra tries to talk him up.
Impressive goalkeeping there from Amatepe. Very strong, very agile, very intelligent. Rises to the ball every single time. And this time again, with firm handling of the ball, managed to pick up that delivery.
Here is Emmanuel Ano. He stepped up his game really impressively in this second half. Tete to Boyne. His Nations on the move. Boyne through the middle. Dongbale with an outstretched leg gets it away. Nana Kwesiamwa stopped by Boachi. Now here is Joseph Eifa. Brandon Enchisapon. He's got Mashoud Abdallah on his right side. He hangs on to possession. Here is Entry Sapon. Good ball to Mashoud Abdallah. He wants options. Brings it back for Boahin. Boahin swings in across. That should be the equalizer. And it goes just on top by Tete. This is impressive. Good play from Nations.
Chris Parson from Nations. Quick build up. Getting into the final third. Brilliant delivery from Boahin Wanteke. And Tete did exactly everything he could have done to get the equalizer, but unfortunately, the grace of the crossbar.
And that must have been his last involvement in the game. Abraka will go in to replace Asari, and then Tete will obviously make way. His place is taken by Yusuf Al-Hassan Chipsa.
Not the Chipsa who qualified Ghana to the Olympics in 2004.
Obviously have some kind of relation. These two are family. The Chipsa of the Black Stars fame and this young chap. Dongbali's ball in. Abraqua's first touch. Here's Nanakwe Siamwa, beaten to it by Kelvin Ampofo. Joseph Efa tries to switch to Sapon. Good play by Alidu. Nanakwe Siamwa back to Alidu. Nations having some defending to do. Nagazi. Boahin puts his body in the way and the ball falls to Mashoud Abdallah. Here is Chipsa up against Konate. Double touch from Chipsa. Throw in. He's been out for over a season, Chipsa. Gold Stars have equalized in Tuba. It's 1-1 between Dreams and Gold Stars. Kotoko still trail by 3-0. And Nations have a free kick as Chipsa wins them a foul just outside of the box. Samatex in the lead against us in Samra Boy. And Karela drawing goalless with All Blacks at the Ali Mahama Stadium in Tamale. 60 minutes in Abrankese. Nations 0, Vision 1. Mediama still goalless with Out of Lions in Takwa. Nation trailing Vision here in Abrankese. Free kick. So the reigns in Takwa, ensuring that no football yet between Lions and Mediama. Brandon Enchisapon's ball again. Great goalkeeping on Metefe. Here comes Abrakwa for Nations. Emmanuel Ano cuts in well. Now Efa shoots straight to Ametefe. Confident, calmness, composure been displayed by the Vision goalie.
Excellent goalkeeping there from Ametepe, not in a rush, not jittery. But I think Efa should be aiming a lot more to straight. The goalkeeper was too direct at him. He'll be glad to pick these up any single day. For a goalkeeper who is growing in confidence in the game, he needs to be tested and stretched a lot more.
Chipsa loses the ball to Alidu. Amwa, Alidu, one squatting to go for it. It's a clever tackle by Asante Boahin. That's his trademark. If you watched him, he does this so effortlessly. But Vision wins a free kick as Alidu is brought down by Asante Boahin.
Needs to keep his cool, needs to keep his calm after winning that tackle brilliantly. Just gave the ball away and in eagerness to win back possession went in with a high foot.
Farouk Mohammed. He's pushed Boahin down and there's a free kick to Nations. Samuel Tete and Isaac Kasari a while ago made way for Chipsa and Abrakwa has been confirmed on your screen, and already the involvement having some impact so far, with Chipsa stepping up in the attack for Nations.
So a lot more Nations will need to do. The clock is ticking. Quickly need to find an equalizer right now if they want anything from this game.
Brandon Saponenchi's ball flicked away by Konate, and Ampofo's effort nowhere near troubling Vision FC.
And these are the kind of efforts Vision would love to see. Maybe Nations will need to be a bit more tactful. So it started the second half very well, trying to keep it simple, trying to keep it cool, passing among themselves. And they were creating chances. But quite unfortunate, they've resorted to going for the drives, which they've been highly unsuccessful with from the start of the game.
The goal scorer, Farouk Mohammed, has been taken off on the stretcher. He put Vision ahead after that mistake by Hadina Bariu. This was the moment. Just tries to clear the ball away and straight to Farouk, who makes no mistake into that empty net. He slots it for the opener. Now Emmanuel Arnold for Nations can't get to Chipsa. Here is Dongbari, Alidu, Nagazi, Kwartin. Asante Boyne makes a mistake. Here is Benjamin Kwartin, checks onto Kwesi Amoah, but Emmanuel Boyne is there. He's pushed down by Nana Kwesi Amoah. Lucky not to get a card.
Very good read of the situation there by Boyne. You could see from Adina Barry, he's a bit careful not to even involve himself too much in the game again.
Nations free kick quickly taken. Chipsa turns well, but he's beaten to it by Kwartin. Referee Aduntra was right there. He spots an infringement, and it will be Nations free kick. Vision will protest, but Aduntra's decision is final.
And look at that. Was Chipsa cleverly trying to win possession. It's more like two people, you understand why they're complaining. Benjamin Kwartin claiming innocence. Oh, look how Motepe, he's really had a very good day.
He's made a difference. Nations should have at least had the equalizer, if not taking the lead. The goalkeeper has been simply awesome.
Sometimes you need goalkeepers to stand up, to stand out, to help you win games. That's exactly what he's doing. The crucial time of the season, where his club needs him the most.
Brandon. Entry upon Kwame Boache and Efa. Kwame Boache delivers, but it's just gone out for a goal kick. Not the best of deliveries from Kwame Boache. Referee Jacob Aduntra signals for substitutions to be made, but that's a recap of Boache's efforts. Nowhere near troubling the visitors.
Clearly see from his reaction, could have done better. It's been a well tactically put display. Vision Football Club, they haven't Left 10 is still on 10. That's exactly what is helping them get better and stronger in this game.
There's a push on Nagazi by Abrakwa. Zaidan Al Hassan's effort going wayward. He just came off the bench to replace Nana Kwesi Amoah. Abrakwa. Here is Alidu. Boyne takes possession for Nations. He finds Brandon Saponenchi. Lovely play. He nutmegs Apia. Now he swings to Ano. Back to entry Sapon. Nope. Clearance by Kwartin. Stopped by Abrakwa. Efa Mashoud Abdallah. Kelvin Ampofo. Nations are taking the game to Vision. Here is Boyne. Back to Abdallah. He gets a return on the right. Boyne swings in across. Flicked away by Dongbali. It's onto Imano Ano. Checks onto his left. He wants support and he finds Kwame Boachi, who delivers one in. Chipsa's header. How did he miss from that range? This was a big chance for Chipsa to have equalized for Nations.
This is quite unpardonable. Free header virtually. No push from anyone. No obstruction whatsoever. There was no pressure on him. Chipsa should be getting that one on target.
It's 70 minutes at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Nation trail Vision by 1-0. Here is Konate. It's a clearance that will get to Abrakwa. Zaidan. Foot up against Kingsley Apia. That's a clumsy challenge. Nations are just not in the mood to waste any time. Free kick quickly taken. Ano wins the throw. Here is Kwame Boache. Michael Abrakwa. Swings in across, looking for Abdallah Mashoud. He can't get to it. It's a goal kick.
The intent was very much clear. Expected to send in that delivery broke across field. Finding Abdallah Mashoud. But it was too heavy for him to have any touch onto that. Nations have been better the second half. I still find it difficult to get the antidote to hit at the back of the net. Ametepe has been brilliant. Konate has been excellent. Dombali has been very tactful. That sums up how Vision are still with a clean sheet in this game.
We're into final 20 minutes. Kwartin's ball in is straight to Hadina Barui. Aiming at Chipsa. Traps it down for Abdallah. Abdallah's first touch gives the ball away to Dongbali. Who's giving a throw into Nations. Abrakwa will aim for a very long throw into that Vision 18-yard box, and there he goes. Cleared away by Kwartin. Kwame Boache finds Asante Boahen. Michael Abrakwa launches one forward, aiming at Chipsa. Konate is first in the air. Kelvin Ampofo for Nations. Kwame Boache comes in for support. Boache swings in across. Headed back by Zaidan. Ano returns it to Boache. And Boache whips in across. Konate rises again, and here comes Ampofo. Tracks up the challenge from Alidu. He picks out Boahin on the right side. Here is Boahin. Now Ampofo. And the final effort is aimless, purposeless. Goal kick for Vision.
He'll be disappointed in himself. It's a rash decision there. It was always rising up with the right body balance to head that ball.
Nations come up with substitutions. Mashoud Abdallah is out for Suini Sulemana. Frederick Nzole in for Brandon Sapon. And the fans are reacting to the substitution. They feel like this guy right here, Brandon Entry Sapon, should be in the game. He shouldn't go off. They reacted to this change. But let's see what Nzole and Sulemana brings into the game.
I'm equally surprised they've taken off Brandon Entry Sapon. Equally surprised. Has been the one who's been making it work with Emmanuel Ano. Steven Frimpong Manso together with the rest of his technical team believe that Entry Sapon who needs to go off for Nzole.
The reaction from the fans tells it all. In total disagreement with the gaffer on this substitution. They just can't take it.
I'm equally surprised if it's not an injury to Sapon or him being extremely tired. Equally not disagreement with this decision from Frimpong so the rest of the technical team. To see the fans in disbelief. Evan Safo.
Frimpong Manso is not a popular man at the moment at this venue. He's in the news for the wrong reasons. He's not covered himself in glory as far as this substitution is concerned. Let's see what comes of it. Emmanuel Boahin. Nzole. Hands possession to Alidu. Nasiru's effort. There's a free kick. Vision gets the foul. Sumaila Nasiru, who just came off the bench, aiming to have an impact.
Vision will be very much happy. The game plan for the second half was worked to perfection. These were the same messages from Alfred Nelson, the assistant coach, during the halftime interaction. Successful in the final third of the pitch.
Zaidan with the curl eye goes over the post for a goal kick. Zaidan Al Hassan aiming for the top corner by Ampofo. Now here is Ano. Nzole. Chipsa is chasing. Labaran shows great desire. And they give the ball away. Here is Ano. Chance for Nations. Ano just passes marker. Here comes Ano again. Sends in a cross. Chance for Nations. They get a corner from their effort. Well defended by Kwartin.
A mixed bag of good and bad decisions there from Ano. With his first tackle, lucky to win possession and hit the ball against Konate. But the second attempt, it was a dink aiming for Suedu Suini.
Suedu's corner. Abrakwa gets something on it from the header. Here is Asante Boahin. Abrakwa. Labaran gets it away. Adina Bariu comes all the way from his area to hand the ball to Kwame Boache. Poor touch from Suini Sulemana. Bernard Quarton's ball straight to Abrakwa. Kingsley Apia. Boyne wins the ball at the expense of Nasiru. Now Chipsa. Poor touch. Labaran. Konate. Kwame Boache's clearance. Ball returned by Kingsley Apia. Dongbali's efforts away only as far as Kwame Boache. Sulemana throwing Nations. Here is Boahen. Nzole tries to get to Ano. Clearance away by Kingsley Apia. Very unsung in that midfield. He's been doing all those dirty jobs, mopping up ahead of Alidu and Nana Kwesiamwa until he got substituted. Nations are pushing for the equalizer, but Dongbali arrived before Ano could cause any havoc. It's a Nations corner, well read by the centre back.
That was the first time I saw goalkeeper Ametepe Fluff coming out to make a save.
Sulemana's delivery. Konate rises and gets something on it. Nzole. Here is Nzole for Nations. Now, Chance Chipsa. Great save again by Ametepe to deny Suidu Sulemana. Nasiru Somaila fought by Emmanuel Boahen is a clear yellow card. Intentional.
He had to clearly take one for the team. Tactical there from Boahen. He couldn't afford to let this man just get past him. That was a brilliant run there from Sumaila trying to get past his man. Ametepe once again coming to the party.
Konate to take the free kick. We're into the last 9 minutes of this game. Nations trailing Vision by 1-0. Sulemana's effort flicked away by Nagazi for a goal kick. Boahen picking up that yellow for that clumsy challenge on Nasiru Somaila. Alidu gives the ball away to Boahen. Here is Emmanuel Ano for Nations. Afa looking back for Ano. Labaran clears the danger.
It's a test of composure, it's a test of energy, it's a test of intelligence at this point in time, especially for Nations Football Club.
Ample with a foul on Zaidan Al Hassan. Free kick Vision. Double foot up, unacceptable.
It was quite a nasty challenge coming in there. Easily a yellow card at any point in time. It could pass for a red card. When the start showing, it was a lunge into his man. You can understand why Dongbali and the rest of the Vision FC players are complaining to the referee.
Konate's delivery. Abrakwa gets it away to Sulemana. He puts his back, but Nagazi to Sumaila. Nasiru Sumaila with an effort that is blocked by Asante Boyne. I know track back and rescue the situation, but he's almost giving it away. He shows great resilience and composure to hand the ball to Nzole, who finds Abrakwa. Abrakwa is trying to pick out Efa. Too much on it for Efa. Throw into Vision.
It's quite in too much of a rush to get the ball upfield. You can blame Abrakwa. Try to set up his team on a quick break and need a goal as quickly as possible.
Boyne is up against Nasiru Sumaila. There's pressure on the nation's right back, who eventually wins the free kick for his club. This is not looking good, not a pleasant story for the Abrankese Bay side. Dongbali. Going to final 5 minutes of action here in Abrankese. Nations trail Vision, and they are chasing that equalizer with 5 more minutes to go. Goal scored by Farouk Mohammed, separating Vision and Nations here. Now here is Boyne. Emmanuel Ano. He's got 9 goals so far this season, but he's struggling to make things work this afternoon here in Abrankese. Vision have a free kick right in their area. Mediama have set the ball rolling at the TNA, even in the rains. The lead Heart of Lions by 1-0 in a game that can determine their championship status. 11 Wonders are down and out of the Premier League. They are trailing Chelsea by 2-0 in Swedro. At the Nana Jemimbedu, the first park in Doma is Adriana 1, Young Apostles 1. Dreams have made it 3-1 against Gold Stars at the Tuba AstroTurf. That's the same scoreline at the Nana Fosujiabo in Bechem, with United leading Asante Kotoko. Hearts of Oak trailing Samatex 1-0. And All Blacks are holding it tight against Karila at the Aliu Mahama Stadium in Tamale.
It was a quite not surprising result. You can see players of Nations Football Club, Richard Danso, also in there. So lots of credit will be given to this man. You can see the fans still agitated.
Signs of frustration, hands on head, thinking about where the miracle will come from. Are we going to witness a miracle in Abrankese, or Vision will run away with the mission they came here with, to win and keep their Premier League status alive? Here is Nations chasing the equalizer, but again, unsuccessful in the build-up.
It was quite unfortunate they decided to desert the core principles they started the second half with, making it easy, close-knit passes. Decided to go long, but they've been highly unsuccessful with that approach.
Here is Emmanuel Ano for Nations, driving forward in confidence. But Labaran moves all the way from his left back row to stop the run of Emmanuel Ano. Edwiana back in the lead against Young Apostles. It's 2-1 in Doma, and it's 1-0 here in Abrankese. Nations, 2 more minutes to save their Premier League status. Suini Sulemana to take the free kick as Vision pull out Abdul Majid Labaran and replaces him with Ibrahim Labi. Labaran out for Labi.
He's had an exciting game. He's had a really good game.
Sulemana delivers. Dongbali comes out. Abrakwa for Nations. And not simply can't get to that one. He tried overstretching to get on it.
Abrakwa with his weaker foot trying to quickly find Ano. It was quite unfortunate he couldn't get onto the end of that.
Vision will push Nations further down the log if the results stay same. Now Chipsa, Emmanuel Ano sends in a cross, flicked on by Inzoli. 7 minutes of additional time. Free kick to Nations.
So Bernard Quartes sticking out and elbow there right into the face of Suini. So lucky to have had this call from the referee.
Crucial moment for Nations as Sulemana lines up to deliver this free kick. He whips one in. Again, Ametepec rises to the occasion and the ball is cleared by Nasiru. Free throw into Nations. Abrakwa goes for a very long one. Chance for the equalizer. Is it a penalty? Yes, referee Adu Charles points to the spot. Penalty for Nations. Vision will protest. Aduntra spots a handball right in the box. Have a second look at the incident. Long throw by Abrakwa. Down by Inzoli. Alidu. Did he handle the ball? Yes, he did.
And
with an outstretched arm. No questions about it.
Clearly, no questions about the decision. Aduntra was close by. I don't think this is not questionable. It's as clear as daylight. No questions about it. They may think about whatever, but I think that.
Wow. Hadina Barry wants to redeem himself after that mistake. Gifted Vision the opening goal. He steps up to effect the penalty. I thought it was going to be Emmanuel Ano or any of the on-field players. But he steps up for it. Badui against Ametepec, and it's missed. Goodness me. It's not a day for Nations.
It's not a day for Nations. It's not a day for Hadina Barriu. Lots of people were surprised with him stepping up to effect that penalty, and you can see desolation, despair, anguish for the young goalkeeper. Brilliant save there by Ametepec. His conviction was right, went down early to his right, and he made the save.
Nations have flubbed a big-time opportunity to have come back into the game and probably gone on to win it. It's so frustrating and heartbreaking for the Nations FC players and officials. They've been the better side in the latter stages of this second half. They took the game to Vision, got rewarded by the penalty after that Ali Duhan ball, and that surprise candidate raised eyebrows even before he kicked the ball. Remember, he might have not been in the right frame of mind after making that mistake in the first half. So psychologically, I think it wasn't right for him to have stepped up. But Frimpong Manso and his technical team felt otherwise, and it's given a huge advantage to Vision to run away with maximum points, Kelvin.
And it's quite surprising, all the attacking players. If Emmanuel Ano, Kwame Boache, Nzole allowed him to step up for that. It's quite surprising the goalkeeper was given that stretch, trying to redeem his image. But another unfortunate incident. He's been the villain today from start to finish.
He gives the goal away through a horrendous mistake, and then he's missed the penalty in a crucial moment where he could have rescued his side with a few minutes to go. We're into the 4th minute of stoppage time. Relegation is staring nations in the face with 1 game to spare. They have a trip to Tamale against Karela, and they have a date in the FA Cup finals against Dreams.
These are going to be very desperate times for Nations Football Club. That was a heavy kick there from Konation. Ano. And Barry is coming up once again.
Suidu Sulemana Sohini to take the free kick into the final 2 minutes of stoppage time. He sends in a free kick. It's cleared away by Kwartin, and there's a free kick for Vision.
The goalkeeper stepped up and he went to commit another foul. It's a bad day for him, Nana. Very, very terrible day.
Vision FC have won just 2 games in 16 away matches. They've lost 9 times on the road and drawn 5 times. They've conceded 22 away goals, and they've scored 11 goals away from home. This will be their 17th home away game from home, and if the result ends this way, it will be the 3rd away victory for Vision, and it must have come at a very, very crucial time in the season for Vision.
They will be happy, they will be glad getting all these points. And that is exactly what they have wanted from this season, from this particular fixture.
Frank Dongbali to take the free kick. He's blasted a powerful one. Bariwi saves. And Nations are on the road for a possible recovery. Boahin onto the part of Emmanuel Ano. Is the last charge for Nations, but Dongbali is the referee. Jacob Aduntra has whistled for the end of this game here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankasi. Joy for Vision, heartbreak for Nations. A goal that came out of a mistake by goalkeeper Hadina Bariwi, who went on to miss a penalty that could have handed Nations an equalizer. They've lost maximum points at home. It turns out to be precious points for the visitors, Vision FC, who must have saved their Premier League campaign with this important win away from home. Goal scored by Farouk Mohammed, loaned from Nations to Vision. Vision will now have to rely on the result from the last game against Karela. And what a game by Gordon Ametepe. Man of the match performance by the Vision goalie. On several occasions, he denied Nations the equalizer. And truly, he deserves to be man of the match. It's full time at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankasi. Nations FC 0, Vision FC 1.
Incredible scenes here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Vision FC have traveled all the way from Accra to defeat Nations by 1-0. And what this means is that Vision FC have increased their chances of surviving in the Ghana Premier League for next season. It's a big win for them. And the man who masterminded this win is here, Wilson Asare. Coach, you said you were going to do it. I mean, first of all, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
How difficult was this one?
Very difficult. But like I told you from the beginning, we came in with a plan, and credit to the boys. They executed it to perfection. And I can say that kudos to them. You know, when you are coming for such matches, told you the pressure was there. But if they keep their pressure and they play the simple way and take the simple basic decisions, we will do it. And you could see that that was what they were doing. I mean, credit to the boys.
Of course, now with all the defensive work that you did, your goalkeeper, Godwin Ametefe, how would you describe his performance today?
Fantastic. And I give credit to the goalkeeper's trainer. He has taken good care of him. He has improved him to this level. And we cannot say much than to thank Godwin and then thank the goalkeeper's trainer in the person of Muntari Tego. It's a teamwork. You could see that he did well, but his defensive line and the entire team too were also helping in defending to ensure that we got the win, and we've gotten it.
Well, the reports we are picking up is that Suedro All Blacks also lost their game in Tamale against Karela. How much of an importance is the victory going into your final game against Adriana at home?
I'm yet to look at the table, but if they've lost, it's just unfortunate. Where we've gotten to, if a team loses and you overcome them, I mean, you will have to smile about it, though it is not a pleasant thing, but that is what it is. We are working and making sure that we are sustaining ourselves.
Now, when that call comes through from Nana Akua-Adjumani all the way from Morocco, what are you going to tell him? I know that Ghana is currently playing Senegal, but what are you going to tell him? What report are you going to give him?
You see, the work we do at Vision, we do corporate coaching. I've been in touch with him every day. We draw training programs together. I give him feedback. And all I am going to tell him is, bro, we have done it together. And we all take the congratulations. All the coaching staff, all the technical team, and management.
Thanks very much, and congratulations to you. I know the party is still ongoing, so you can go and join the boys there. Asare Wilson is the assistant coach of Vision FC. They have pulled off a massive win here against Nations to better their chances of surviving in the Ghana Premier League. One of the players for Vision who actually stood tall in today's game is Godwin Ametefe, the young Godwin Ametefe. Gode, and now performance now is super. First of all, now we are very confident that we will win.
Sure, now we are confident that we will win because our training now week in the morning. Confidence no, I say bit me win.
Now we have a lot of saves. I mean, it looks like a game where no one is serious. Personally, one cast the game we're not a serious game them out.
Sure, because baby I head down. Baby I head down now. Oh, baby, we game now. One is serious and you be quite you lose so much now. I think say.
Now, in Pepe, you know, say goalkeeper ever ball penalty against another goalkeeper. And it's difficult. More goalkeepers winning penalty ball. Barry will bet not penalty no one. And then I will say he would go to the right hand side because that save you pulled from the penalty was a brilliant one.
That's it. Because say keeper ever be ball keeper. A patch say were very good. Answer na oba. And position original no. Actually me say
of course. That's the when you 3 points. Yate se Suedro All Blacks on the relegation zone ma akoluso El Karela. Final game move ball home against Adriana. We are confident say Vision ever surviving with any points now when you know.
Sure, me sure say ever surviving.
Of course, yeah, that's it. Godwin Ametefe, he is the most valuable player in today's game. Pulled off some massive saves there to ensure that his side actually end up with the 3 points against Nations FC. It has not been an easy one. Maybe Kelvin will be back to join me. I don't know if Kelvin could actually say a few words here. Kelvin, I can't just describe the scene here. Fans of Nation FC are not having it at all. Yeah. But Vision is joy for them.
Well, Vision will be very much happy because they needed a point, you know, and now they have 3 points. Excellent execution of the game. They defended very well with their lives, made sure they kept their cool, kept their composure, defended their lead, and got great opportunities to even hit a second. But Barry making sure that he prevented them from getting anything from this. It's joy for their players, joy for their fans, because they know that the final game of the season wouldn't count, whether they lose, draw, or manage to win the game.
Now, the question that many of the fans are asking is that after Barry made that error that led to the goal, he shouldn't have been allowed to take the penalty because they don't think he was in the right frame of mind. Do you also side with them?
On any day, psychologically, his mentality might not be right up there. But there are times you give players an opportunity for them to redeem their images. We've seen players miss 2 penalties in a game, but they are allowed to, you know, play the third. But unfortunately for him, he played a penalty which was well saved by, you know, a goalkeeper who had almost everything right today in the game, Godwin Ametepe, with a very brilliant save. And it's quite unfortunate for him, but I think that nations themselves have done, you know, bad to themselves. I was expecting Ano Ifa to step up and at least convert the penalty to give nations at least a point.
Okay, so, I mean, it's ended here, and what I know is that the results from the other venues are also interesting. Aduana beating Young Apostles by 3-1. Bechem United also got a 3-1 victory over Asante Kotoko. Guess what? Dreams FC have beaten BBN Gold Stars by 3-1. So Mediema, after today, could be crowned champions of the 2025-26 Ghana Premier League. Should they end up beating Heart of Lions? 11 Wonders also lost 2-0 to Brekum Chelsea, with Karela beating Swedro All Blacks by 1-0. And Samatex also beating Heart of Oak by 1-0. Finally, Mediema currently are playing against Heart of Lions. It was delayed because there was a heavy downpour in Takwa, and Mediema are leading by 1-0. Should they end up winning the game, it means that Mediema would be crowned champions even before their final game against Heart of Oak at the Accra Sports Stadium. For us here, it's done. We need to just pack our tools, go back to Accra, wait for Mediema, and see if the coronation will be done there. My name is Mutale Akubu. I was joined by Kelvin Owusu-Ansah. He was in commentary position with Nana Dakwa Jesse. And thanks to the APL crew for bringing us at the game. It's not done yet. The season is not over. We have one last lap to go. But as you know, Mediema could end up winning the league by the close of day today. My name again is Mutale Akubu, and this has been the Ghana Premier League on TV3 and Onya TV. Have a good evening, and we check out of here.